I seem to have ended my own video there accidentally. There's the Millmount. The mound, as I was saying, was said to have been raised by the British by some, but of course the historians locally say it was built by the Anglo-Normans. But in fact the folklorists always said that the mound under the Millmount Martello Tower was an ancient burial mound, said to be the burial place of Aurigin or Amergin, Aurigin Glungyal, who we were talking about in the previous video. And so that is allegedly a prehistoric burial mound which has been raised up and fortified by the Anglo-Normans, and later had the British military tower built on it when the barracks was built here for the garrison in the early 19th century. It's going to take a very quick look inside, conscious of making sure I maintain social distancing. Sorry, I can only hold the phone with one hand because I have the dog with me, so it might be a little bit shaky because I can't hold it with two hands. And there is the military barracks, the buildings, which are now housed by museums and craft shops. And the Old Drogheda Society, which is the local history society, has its meetings there in that building attached to the mound, which is the governor's house. Spectacular views over Drogheda and the Boyne Valley. And there's the river. So you would have had terrific views from the estuary all the way in to the point where the Boyne turns at Oldbridge. Sorry about the noises, I'll try and silence the notifications there. So just to reiterate that I'm out walking the dog during the COVID restrictions. You're allowed to exercise within 2 kilometres of your home. I am within 2 kilometres of my home. Thankfully I'm able to get to Millmount, even though I'm not able to get to Brunabonia, Newgrange and Douth, and Nouth are just out of range, unfortunately. But anyway, I'm lucky to be able to get out and enjoy the air. There aren't many people walking, but there's plenty of traffic because obviously people are still having to go to the shops and the supply lines are still open. We're very lucky for all that. But anyway, there you go, is the burial place, said to be part of the Brunabonia complex by local folklorists, and recorded from as early as I think the early 19th century in the histories of Drogheda. The tradition had been recorded that it was reputedly the burial place of Aurigin, who brought them allegiance here. Aurigin of the Bright Knee, Amergin. And you can just see one of the cannons. Sorry, I need to zoom in there. You can just see one of the cannons sticking out over the wall there. The Martello Tower had been shelled during the War of Independence by the Free State forces, or were the Free State forces occupying it? I'm not entirely sure, one or the other. And it was restored, I believe it was reopened and restored in 1999, just over 20 years ago, and now houses part of the museum. And it's a fabulous visitor facility. So as soon as things get back to normal, maybe some of you will come to Drogheda and visit Millmount and hear about its history and of course also its folklore. There's the gatehouse, the gate, and it's one of only 2 prehistoric monuments that I know of that have a road running around them. There's another one in Sligo. Is it a stone circle or the remains of a passage tomb in the middle of a housing estate? So you'll see the way the road curves around the bottom of the mound here. Emmett says, where is this located? It is located in Drogheda in County Louth, which is my hometown. Drogheda in County Louth in Ireland. And hello to some of the usual people are watching. We'll have a live Irish Myths tonight, which will be about the Druids, or an introduction to the Druids. So that should be interesting. Hope you can all join me later on. Now, come on. Dog's having a good sniff there in the grass. Just once again, apologies for the shakiness of the video. I'm out walking Saskia. She's loving this walk. We've been walking for at least 1.5 miles now. So I'll just pull back up the hill here and we'll just get a wider look at it, and then I'll head on home. All is quiet at Millmount today. No visitors for this past while, and no visitors for the foreseeable future. So anyway, hopefully whenever we get on top of this COVID-19 virus, hopefully things can start to get back to normal and people can start visiting these places again. Samantha Ayres is watching from South Australia. Good morning, or good night. It's very late at night for you, isn't it? Derek Peter Kennedy. Hi Anthony, my old playground as I grew up in Marion Park. Little did I know the history of that mound when I rolled down the slope. Emmett Sharkey, always on the hunt for local beauty and hidden gems from our lovely country. Gonna find all of them first here in my part of the north, then I will conquer the south locations. Haha. Dana Hicks says the other dog, yeah, Saskia hasn't yet appeared and alive. It's fascinating if they ever get to do excavations and find out for real whether it is actually a prehistoric burial mound, which I believe completely that it is. It's interesting that you can kind of drive right around the base of it, you know. You see the what do they call them, the sally ports, the gun holes, you know. It was very well fortified anyway. It would take a fair old army to get in there if it was under attack. Anyway, there it is. That is the Millmount, reputedly the burial place of Amergin. Bard and spiritual figurehead, druid perhaps, of the Milesians. Great to be able to do this. I'm actually on lunch from work, so I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm still working. So a very good afternoon to everybody who's watching. Stay safe, keep washing your hands, keep doing your physical distancing. Just try and stay in touch with everybody on the phone or by social media or WhatsApp or Facebook, whatever way you want to do it, FaceTime. And we'll get through this. We'll get through it.